1-800-646-6615. Copperfit Guardwell Face Protector.
Over the last 6 weeks, that's all I've been doing is having the urgency to get back and play. I knew I would, getting back to 100%, it's impossible. I don't think I will ever get back to 100% in my career. But I felt comfortable where I knew I could get on the floor and help my team win.
That was LeBron James, and there was one subtle little comment that I want to get your comments, guys, Grant and Candace, talking about he doesn't think he'll ever be 100% again in his career. I think that one was the one that made the headlines. Candace, we'll start with you. What do you think?
Well, I don't know how I feel about that. I think sometimes, you get in a space where you're injured, and Grant and I, we both know very well how difficult it is to come back from an injury. You doubt yourself. You obviously don't think that you're going to get that step back, getting back in shape and all of that. And so maybe he's at that point, but I think he looked pretty darn good the other night. And yeah, I don't know if anybody agrees with that.
Well, I'll say this, B.A. I agree with Candace. First and foremost, I'm about 5%. So there's no chance for me ever getting back to 100%. But look, let's understand. It's after a game, first game back. They lose to Sacramento. There's probably some frustration built up. You wanted to play better. He had a chance to hit a big three down the stretch. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. The more games he plays, the more opportunity he has to be on the court, and there's no issues with his body, he'll be fine, and he'll get back to where he was before he got hurt. I have no doubt whatsoever that come playoff time, LeBron James will be the LeBron James we've seen all season.
Well, he missed 20 consecutive games with that high ankle sprain. That's the most consecutive games he has missed in his career. Lakers were 8-12 during those games as Anthony Davis goes strong in the paint. So clearly something that he's never experienced. Of course, a couple of years ago, he was injured for a good stretch as well. A guy that never used to spend any time at all on the injured list away from a team. As Bembry again is whacked, and he scores it. And Toronto just keeps bouncing back. Every shot the Lakers have given him, Toronto has had an answer.
And Bembry not known for being a three-point shooter, but smart here. Just a nice back cut against the vision of McLemore, and great delivery by Siakam, concentration inside, and three-point play opportunity. But, we were talking earlier about the health of LeBron James and Anthony Davis as they're both getting back to form. They're going to have to play at an elite level to try to repeat and have the results that they want. They were so good last year in the bubble, and they had to be for their team to have a chance. And so with the West loaded like they are in the Eastern Conference, whoever comes out of there, those two guys are going to have to get back to that elite level, I believe, for the Lakers to win it again.
But Grant, everybody's talking about offensively. Early on, they were playing some of the best defense, and LeBron was playing some of the best defense in his career. And so with that being said, it makes things easier on the offensive end if you're defending and you're playing in transition. Because I said it at the beginning of the year, nobody wants to defend Anthony Davis and LeBron James in transition.
Most impressive that the Lakers during that stretch without AD specifically and LeBron still with the #1 defensive rating in the NBA as we arrive to play tonight with 9 games left in the schedule for the Lakers. Slipped significantly offensively. 22 is their rating offensively coming into play tonight. And you're right, Candace, they were so good in the bubble, but it was those first games of series that gave him trouble. And remember, Charles Barkley had the infamous sweep call, the guarantee by the Portland Trailblazers after the Blazers beat the Lakers in the first round in Game 1. But they were at their worst in those first games, and that is why they want to avoid that play-in tournament, not to mention the week off that everybody gets if you are in the top 6 and enter right into the playoffs. Caldwell Pope misfires, offensive board Caruso. And now McLemore, too strong. And that's going to be a foul, loose ball foul on Kim Birch of the Raptors.
One of the downsides for the Raptors here with the small lineup is defensive rebounding. Obviously, 2 opportunities on the glass. Anthony Davis, his activity and his length, creating those second and third chance opportunities for his ball club.
Approaching the 5-minute mark, Brian Anderson with Grant Hill, the Hall of Famer, Candace Parker, getting ready for her WNBA season in Chicago. Candace will be with Matt Weiner and Greg Anthony on our halftime show and post-game as well. Big night in the NBA. Boy, a lot to talk about tonight, Candace. Some very interesting games. I think most surprising for me, the fact that the Blazers go to Boston and beat them by 10. Portland on a 6-game road trip. They've won the first 4 on that road trip, Candace, including a big win today in Beantown.
Well, I think what we're seeing from Portland now was the expectation all year. I mean, they've been through their injuries and their ups and downs, but right now they were playing some good basketball to start the season before C.J. McCollum got hurt. Dame, did his best to carry them while they went through their injuries, but at this point in time, honestly, if C.J. McCollum can get back to playing the type of basketball he was at the beginning of the season, it's gonna be scary in that Western Conference.
So it's really Portland, it's Dallas, and it's the Lakers. Those are the 3 teams in the focus for the play-in versus the 5 and the 6 seed. So basically, you got 3 teams, and one of them is going to be left out. One of them is going to have to end up in that play-in series if all things go according to plan. And it looks like it's pretty much of a loss. The Mavericks lost tonight. Sacramento beat L.A. at Staples Center on Friday, and then took down the Mavericks tonight as well. So all of a sudden the Kings feeling like their playoffs are right now, and they've knocked some people off the pole here in the last couple of games.